You are watching the Unconfirmed Diegesis, a channel where strange and unconfirmed stories are examined. We present these stories to you for your entertainment without judgment. We leave that up to you to decide, true or false. This story takes place in the steaming wetlands of far north Queensland, where the sugarcane sways beneath monsoon skies and the swamps seem alive with whispers. One of Australia's strangest encounters unfolded. The 1966 Tully saucer nests incident has landed on our desk because this case falls right in the middle of the strange and unconfirmed. For this reason, we bring you the Tully case for you to decide. So let's dive deep into the mystery of the Tully saucer nests. January 19th, 1966. The morning began like any other for banana farmer George Pedley. The tropical heat was already rising over the wetlands outside Tully as Pedley guided his tractor along a narrow, muddy track near Horseshoe Lagoon. The swamp was alive with the sounds of insects and distant birds hidden within the reeds. Thick humidity clung to the air, turning the lagoon into a haze of shimmering heat and still water. Pedley was focused on routine farm work when something shattered the silence of the wetlands. A sound, not thunder, not machinery. A violent, metallic hissing exploded through the air, so loud and unnatural it cut straight through the roar of the tractor engine itself. Later, Pedley would describe it as a sudden rushing noise, like escaping steam under enormous pressure. At first, he thought the tractor had blown a tire or ruptured a hydraulic line. He immediately killed the engine. The swamp fell silent. Then came another hiss. Longer this time, closer. Pedley turned toward Horseshoe Lagoon just in time to see the reeds violently thrashing as though something massive was forcing its way upward from beneath the water. That was when he saw it. Rising above the lagoon was a large, disc-shaped craft, unlike anything he had ever seen. The object appeared metallic gray in the morning light, smooth and seamless with no visible windows, wings, or markings. Its shape was strange, convex on both the top and bottom, almost like two giant bowls pressed together. Pedley estimated it was roughly 25 feet across and nearly 9 feet high. Water and broken reeds cascaded beneath it as the object lifted free of the swamp. For several terrifying seconds, the craft hovered silently just above the lagoon, swaying slightly in the air. Pedley later recalled that it seemed almost unstable at first, as if correcting its balance. Then the object tilted sharply and accelerated away with astonishing speed. No smoke, no flame, no rotor wash, no sonic boom. Just the fading hiss echoing across the wetlands as the craft vanished into the distance faster than Pedley could fully process what he had witnessed. For several moments he simply stood there beside his tractor, staring at the empty sky. But the real mystery was waiting in the lagoon. Cautiously, Pedley approached the water's edge, expecting to find churned mud or wreckage from some kind of aircraft. Instead, he discovered something that should not have existed. Floating among the reeds was a near-perfect circular formation, approximately 30 feet across. The vegetation had been twisted into a bizarre spiraling pattern, unlike anything Pedley had encountered in years working the wetlands. The reeds were not merely flattened. They had been ripped entirely from the muddy floor of the lagoon. The roots were exposed. Mud still clung to the tangled vegetation. Some of the reeds appeared darkened and fused together, as though exposed to intense heat or pressure. Others continued moving slowly in the water long after the object disappeared, rotating clockwise in an eerie, deliberate spiral. What disturbed Pedley most was the silence. The insects had stopped. The birds were gone. Even the swamp itself seemed to be holding its breath. And in the center of the strange floating nest, the water beneath appeared dark and unnaturally still. After witnessing the strange disc rise from the swamp, Pedley left the area and told nearby locals and neighboring farmers about both the object and the unusual circular formation left behind in the reeds. News spread quickly through the small farming community outside Tully, where unusual events traveled fast between farms and workers. Albert Pennisi, who lived and worked in the area and was familiar with the wetlands, went out to inspect the site personally after hearing Pedley's story. Curious and skeptical, he reportedly entered the swamp expecting to find some ordinary explanation. Perhaps storm damage, flattened reeds, or a natural disturbance caused by flooding or water movement. Instead, when he waded into the lagoon, he discovered the reeds had been uprooted from the muddy bottom rather than merely bent over. That detail became important because local farmers knew the behavior of the swamp vegetation well. According to witnesses, the roots had been torn free and woven together into a floating circular mat, something Pennisi apparently believed was highly unusual. The plants had not been pushed down. They had been violently torn from the lagoon floor, roots and all, as though some tremendous force had twisted them upward from beneath the water. Mud still clung to the tangled root systems. The reeds were woven together into a dense floating mat that resisted being pulled apart by hand. Pennisi reportedly remarked that the formation looked unnatural, too organized, too precise to have been created by ordinary swamp activity. What unsettled him most was the pattern itself. The reeds spiraled outward in a near-perfect circular motion, many of them still slowly rotating on the surface of the water, hours after George Pedley claimed the strange craft had vanished into the sky. Some sections appeared darkened and brittle, leading witnesses to speculate they may have been exposed to heat or pressure intense enough to partially fuse the vegetation together. Standing waist-deep in the silent lagoon, Pennisi became convinced something powerful had entered the Horseshoe Lagoon that morning, and whatever it was, it had left a scar in the wetlands. This was no ordinary patch of flattened swamp grass. The press quickly gave the bizarre formation a name, the Saucer Nest. And then, the mystery deepened. More nests began appearing across the Tully wetlands. Some rotated clockwise, others counterclockwise. One of the strangest discoveries reported in the weeks following the original encounter was not circular at all. Hidden deep within the swampy wetlands near Tully, witnesses came across a bizarre rectangular patch carved into the vegetation, as though a giant invisible blade had sliced directly through the marsh. Unlike the swirling saucer nests found in the reeds, this formation appeared brutally stripped clean. Plants were gone, roots were missing. Even the muddy surface beneath looked disturbed, as if something immensely heavy had pressed down and then lifted away vertically with tremendous force. Local farmers who knew the wetlands intimately claimed they had never seen anything like it before. The edges of the rectangle appeared unnaturally defined compared to the random destruction normally caused by storms, flooding, or wandering livestock. To some observers, it looked less like damage caused by nature and more like the imprint of machinery, or perhaps landing gear. Then came another unsettling discovery. Deep within the wetlands near Tully, locals investigating the growing number of strange formations stumbled upon a site unlike any of the previous saucer nests. At first glance, it appeared similar, flattened reeds arranged in an unusual pattern. But as witnesses moved closer, they realized something about this location was disturbingly different. At the center of the formation was a darkened patch where the vegetation looked dead, not flattened, not uprooted, burned. The reeds near the middle were blackened and brittle, crumbling apart when touched. Some appeared shriveled inward, as though flash-dried by an intense burst of heat. The muddy water beneath carried an oily discoloration that contrasted sharply against the green swamp surrounding it. Witnesses claimed the damage formed a concentrated center point, almost as though whatever force created the formation had focused its energy downward into the lagoon itself. The air around the site carried a strange odor, unlike anything normally found in the wetlands. There was the unmistakable scent of scorched vegetation, mixed with stagnant swamp water baking beneath the tropical heat. But beneath that lingered another smell, sharp, metallic, almost electrical. Some described it as similar to overheated machinery or the lingering odor after lightning strikes too close to the ground. One local farmer refused to remain near the site for very long, later claiming the entire area felt wrong. The swamp itself seemed unnaturally quiet. No insects buzzed near the scorched center. Bird calls vanished into the distance. Even the usual movement of the reeds in the wind appeared strangely absent around the blackened patch, as though the wetlands had recoiled from whatever had occurred there. As word spread, theories multiplied rapidly. Skeptics argued the burned area could have been caused by decaying vegetation, swamp gas, or even pranksters attempting to intensify the UFO rumors already spreading through Queensland. But believers saw something far more disturbing. To them, the scorched center looked like physical evidence of tremendous energy release, the kind that might occur if an unknown craft had briefly touched down in the swamp before lifting back into the sky. And for many locals, the question was no longer whether strange things were happening around the Horseshoe Lagoon. The real question had become, how many times had it happened before? For believers, these details changed everything. Flattened reeds could perhaps be explained away. Swirling nests might be blamed on strange weather patterns. But scorched earth suggested energy, heat, a physical presence. Something had touched down there. As stories spread across Queensland, the Tully wetlands began to take on an almost haunted reputation. Farmers started watching the skies more carefully. Strange lights reported over the swamps suddenly carried new meaning. Every unexplained sound in the night, every ripple moving through the reeds, became part of a growing mystery that seemed to expand with every new discovery. And beneath the endless drone of insects and the heavy tropical fog, many locals began to wonder if the Horseshoe Lagoon was hiding more than just swamp water and reeds. What if whatever George Pedley saw that morning had been there before and has returned? Rumors spread rapidly through Queensland. Had an extraterrestrial craft descended into the swamps? Or was there another explanation hidden beneath the muddy waters? The investigation eventually drew the attention of the Royal Australian Air Force, who documented the incident but offered a cautious conclusion. During interviews, several locals stated that circular reed formations were fairly common during the wet season. But there was a problem with that explanation. While swamp circles may have existed naturally, few, if any, had ever been connected to an eyewitness report of a flying craft before George Pedley's encounter. And according to later UFO researchers, the phenomenon may have been occurring long before 1966. Researcher Ted Phillips catalogued a similar nest from 1965, predating the famous Tully event. The Tully saucer nests incidents occurred during one of the most intense periods of time in modern UFO history. Some UFO researchers believe American intelligence almost certainly took notice of the incident after international newspapers began reporting on the mysterious saucer nests appearing in the Queensland swamps. The Central Intelligence Agency quietly monitors reports that could have national security implications, especially any secret aircraft that filled the skies. Later, CIA documents would admit that many sightings during that era were linked to classified aerial technology the public was never meant to know existed. That revelation fueled speculation surrounding the Tully case. Could the object witnessed by George Pedley have been experimental military technology connected to the United States? Australia was already a close military ally of the United States, and both countries cooperated heavily on defense and intelligence matters throughout the Cold War. The involvement of the Royal Australian Air Force only deepened suspicions. Although the RAAF publicly leaned toward natural explanations such as waterspouts or swamp turbulence, many UFO enthusiasts believed the official response felt unusually cautious and dismissive. Behind closed doors, some wondered whether information was being quietly shared with American agencies already studying UFO phenomena. Pedley had just described a smooth, metallic craft rising vertically from the swamp before accelerating away at astonishing speed without visible propellers, wings, or exhaust. Many people have asked, "Do you really think the United States didn't take notice?" To the believers, the maneuver sounded eerily similar to reports being collected in the United States under Project Blue Book during that same time period. Decades later, declassified intelligence files have revealed that both the CIA and the US military maintained a far deeper interest in global UFO reports than they publicly admitted at the time, which leaves an unsettling question lingering over the swamps of Queensland. When the strange nests began appearing in the reeds, was Australia truly investigating the phenomenon alone? Or were unseen eyes from across the Pacific already watching Horseshoe Lagoon? Meanwhile, local investigator Claire Noble later revealed that strange circles had reportedly appeared in reeds and sugarcane fields for years before Pedley's sighting, but nobody had considered them important until after the saucer was seen rising from the lagoon, which raises an unsettling possibility. What if the Tully saucer nest was not the beginning? What if these formations had been appearing for years, unnoticed, waiting for someone to finally witness whatever created them? To this day, the Tully saucer nests remain one of Australia's most compelling UFO cases, a bizarre blend of eyewitness testimony, physical trace evidence, and unexplained environmental anomalies. Was George Pedley the witness to a secret military craft? A rare natural phenomenon misunderstood in the heat of the moment? Or did something unknown descend into the wetlands of Queensland that humid January morning? Something that left behind a perfect spiral in the reeds, and questions that still refuse to sink beneath the surface. You have been watching the Unconfirmed Diegesis case file Tully Saucer Nest Mystery, and now it is time for you to decide true or false. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next time we explore the unconfirmed.